Push-ups are way harder and a bit more complicated than most people will believe, but by the end of today's video you will understand why they feel impossible at first, how you can build strength the smart way, and this simple step-by-step progression that will take you from zero all the way to your first proper push-up and beyond. First of all, let's talk about the reasons why you should even care about the push-up and why it is such a powerful exercise. You could say that the push-up is building all of your foundational strength for all of your upper body exercises, from overhead presses all the way to handstands and even more crazy advanced exercises in the future. And also it targets your entire upper body, including your chest, your triceps and your shoulders. And the push-up will also target your core and it will improve your stability. And the best part about the push-up, in my opinion, is that it's infinitely scalable. All of your pushing strength can be increased by just doing the push-ups, and there's different variations that you can do depending on your current level. Some of them are very easy and some of them are really difficult, and all of the different variations will also target different muscle groups, making the push-up the most foundational exercise for your entire upper body. The fastest way to a proper push-up isn't grinding on the floor over and over, it's using progressions that build strength step by step. And we are starting at a progression level that is our failure point, and then we slowly lower the difficulty in the moment we don't have strength left. So I will show you all of the progressions and you will need to find the one that is basically your failure point already, and that is the one that you are going to start with. Let's get into the different progressions. The first one would be push-ups on a wall. The wall push-up is the easiest starting point. You can stand facing a wall and just simply place your hands on the wall, and then you just make the push-up movement basically, and the closer your feet are to the wall, the easier this movement becomes. And once this is too easy, you're just stepping away from the wall a little bit and repeat the same movement. And if this is a little bit too hard for you, then you can always just do the negative movement and just get used to making the push-up on the wall. And the next step is the incline push-up. Here you use a countertop, a table or a bench, anything where you can basically be on a higher surface. And the higher the surface is, the less weight you are pushing. And this is a great way to build strength before moving to the floor. And here also applies the same rule. If you cannot do the actual movement yet, just go with the negative movement and just get used to it and build as much strength as possible. The next progression would be the knee push-up, and this one is the most common progression. You just go down on your knees but maintain a straight line from your head to your knees, and you're doing the exact same movements. And also you could do the incline push-ups but on your knees to make it even easier. So basically you can always go to your knees when the other movements are a little bit too hard, to just make the movement a little bit easier. And at some point you're gonna notice that you are already becoming a lot stronger by following those movements, and then it will be time to try the regular push-up. And here you can start with the negative movement if it is still a little bit too difficult for you. You just go down as slow and controlled as possible, and you try to basically just focus on the movement. And once you feel confident, you can try to push yourself back up. And if that is not possible, don't worry about it. Just do the negative movements as many times as you can, and then slowly go back to the lower progressions. So basically in the moment you are failing the negative movement here in the push-up, you just go back to the incline push-ups, and if those ones get too hard again, then you do the wall push-ups. And at some point when you continue training like this, always till failure, then you will get to your first push-up faster than you might expect it. And once you master the regular push-ups, this is not the end, and that is the magic about push-ups. There's always something harder that you can implement to never stagnate basically, and to always keep getting stronger. The first more advanced push-up variation would be the wide grip push-up, and here you are placing your hands much wider than your shoulders to put more emphasis on the chest. Also, if this one at the beginning is a little bit too hard, you can always do the negative movement, or you're taking your knees to assist your movement again and make it a lot easier. Another advanced variation that is really fun is the diamond push-ups, and here you are placing your hands on the floor directly under your chest, but with your index finger and your thumbs touching so that they are basically forming a shape of a diamond. And this variation puts a lot of focus on the triceps rather than your chest. To make it as simple as possible, the wider away or the more far away from your shoulders your arms are while doing the exercise, the more your chest is going to be focused, and the closer you have them to each other, the more your triceps will be focused. So you have two completely different targeted muscle groups with the exact same exercise. And if all of those push-ups get too easy for you now, there's the decline push-up, and here you are elevating your feet on a bench or chair, maybe on your bed, and this shifts more of your body weight onto your hands. And the higher the surface is where you put your feet on, the more weight you will put on your hands. And here you can do the exact same movements. You can do regular push-ups but elevated. You can also do the wide grip push-ups, diamond push-ups. They just get exponentially more hard the higher your feet are. So this is another excellent progression that you can do once you are at a high enough level. And then also what is getting really important now is talking about the proper form of a push-up, because in the moment you don't have a proper form in a push-up, you may risk getting injured. There's a lot of problems also with targeting wrong muscle groups when you don't have the proper form. And in a proper form push-up, your body should form a straight line from your head to your heels, basically like a plank. And you shouldn't let your hips sag down, and neither should you stick your butt up a lot. So basically just try to be as straight as possible. Your hands should be placed slightly wider than your shoulders and your fingers are pointing straight ahead. And as you lower your body, tuck your elbows back towards your hips at about a 45-degree angle and don't let them flare to the outside. Then we have the full range of motion, which means that you should lower your chest until it's just a few inches from the ground, and then you push yourself back up until your arms are fully extended. And my recommendation is that you're doing it not only with a proper form but also very controlled and stable basically. So in the moment you're going down in your push-up, make sure that you go down as slow and controlled as possible, and once you are a couple inches above the ground, make sure that you are going up as slow as possible too. And that way you will make sure that you're hitting the correct muscle groups and you're not injuring your shoulders or your wrists, for example. And the more slower and controlled your movement is, the more benefits you also will have from it in the future when you are doing, for example, a handstand push-up. That will be something way in the future probably, but it is very important from the beginning on to always focus on the correct form. And if you're not able to do the proper form push-up yet, then that is maybe an indicator that one of the muscle groups actually involved in doing a push-up is not strong enough yet. For example, if you're pushing yourself slow as controlled down, but your hips are starting to sag, that would be an indicator that your core is not strong enough yet. And there's some exercises that you can do to strengthen your core. For example, you could hold an easy plank for let's say 10 to 30 seconds every single day. There's also active hanging that you can do. Just by hanging under the bar and the active hang, you will train your core and the abs are going to naturally be engaged to strengthen them. And once you have strong enough abs, this problem should not occur anymore, that you are basically sagging down in the moment you are doing the push-up. Then you have way more control just because your core is stabilized. Also, some people have a problem that when they do the push-up that they have really painful shoulders, and by hanging also you are going to strengthen your shoulders and get way more flexibility in your shoulders, so that in the moment you're doing the push-up next time, hopefully the pain is going away and that your shoulders become way more flexible. You are going to strengthen your grip strength, and with stronger grip strength your wrists will be stronger. And by having stronger grips, obviously the push-up will be a little bit easier too, because you're not going to have the pain in your hands anymore. And by doing these exercises that are not the progression of an actual push-up, you are going to build the foundational strength that you will need, so that your journey to your real first push-up with proper form will be way easier. And now that we know about the different progressions and exercises that you can do, you will have to find the sweet spot, which is the exercise that is way too hard for you to do at the moment. So basically we are starting with the hardest exercise to always have this progressive overload, to always train at failure basically. And we are going through all of the motions, meaning you're starting at the highest one, going all the way to the lowest one, always until failure, until the point where you can do absolutely no push-up anymore. And then your training will be done for the day, and then you need to rest a little bit and come back next time way stronger. And this next time could be, for example, in 3 to 4 days from now, whenever your body decides that you don't have muscle ache anymore. It is always really important to listen to your body and not overtrain. So doing push-ups every single day in this case is not a good idea, because we are always going to train until failure, and you definitely should give your body the rest that it needs to repair your muscle fibers now. Let me know in the comments down below if you already can do a proper form push-up, or at which of the progressions you are currently stuck. If you found this video somewhat helpful, then make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you're not missing out on future videos exactly like this one. And if you want to find out more about how hanging makes all of the other exercises a lot easier, you can go and watch this video next. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.